This is NDTV. And you're watching NDTV Hindu.
Hello and welcome. Time to call a friend, that's NDTV Hindu, and to listen to the voice of Chennai. I'm Sanjay Pinto. Now, week after week, we've been giving you a platform to air your civic grievances and issues with the government and to connect with officials who can redress your grievances. But from this week, we've decided, based on your feedback, to focus on health problems as well. So tonight, it's all about digestive disorders, about cholesterol, about eating right. And we've roped in one of the best doctors on the subject, Dr. J.S. Rajkumar, Chairman of Lifeline Hospital. So over the next 30 minutes, you can call me on the numbers flashed on your screen and speak directly to the expert. Now, talking of overweight and overeating, how about a diet roundup of news in our city tonight?
The Supreme Court has given Tamil Nadu's traditional sport of bull taming a 2-month ultimatum to decide on guidelines. But the state has asked for more time to respond amid divided opinion among animal activists and the sports enthusiasts. A Class 10 student in Dindigul committed suicide at his school premises after he was punished by his teacher for forging his signature. Angry parents of the boy staged a protest and demanded action against the teacher before police detained him for questioning. At least 5 people have died after a fire broke out at a cracker factory in Virudhunagar. Many others are being treated for injuries. State Chief Minister Karunanidhi has announced an aid of 5 lakh rupees for the families of the dead.
Right, that was Chennai in 60 seconds, and another mini meal coming your way. This time, the nation in a 60-second capsule.
BlackBerry has reportedly agreed to allow Indian authorities access to its messenger services to avoid a possible ban. New Delhi has said it will shut down some BlackBerry services because content transmitted by the devices, which cannot be monitored, posed a threat to national security. The Indian government has dismissed claims by British scientists that a superbug which can resist all known antibiotics originated in India. The parliament, which discussed the issue, said it was a conspiracy against the country. India's health ministry said the superbug issue was malicious propaganda. 4 people were killed after fresh violence rocked parts of Kashmir today. The 4 were killed in clashes with paramilitary troops. In the first incident in Kupwara, a teenager was hit by police fire when troops clashed with worshippers returning from a mosque. Reports say Prime Minister Manmohan Singh and Congress Party leader Sonia Gandhi would join a senior group of ministers to discuss charges of corruption that has plagued the Commonwealth Games to be held in Delhi.
It's the battle against bulging bellies, and Chennai seems to be losing this one. Now, if statistics are to be believed, every 3rd person in the city is overweight. Now, blame it on burgers, on pizzas, on colas, and yes, even on masala dosas dripping with oil and ghee, the new staple diet of many in our city. But even if you're reed thin and a teetotaler, you could still have a fatty liver and high cholesterol. That fat boy slim syndrome? Well, what can you do to combat cholesterol, a silent killer? Our health reporter Nitila brings us some possible remedies.
Finger licking good, tasty maybe, but this could send your cholesterol levels shooting up like the proverbial Jack's beanstalk. But not all cholesterol is bad. As in the typical Indian film, there's a good guy or HDL and there's the bad guy or LDL. Of course, there are a host of other characters too, like VLDL and triglycerides. But if all that's a little mind-boggling, here's the simple mantra.
As long as we can avoid taking oily food, fatty food, or at least bring it down to the minimum, that will take care of our problems. I think definitely in the last 5 years, you would easily see a 20% increase, if that may be even an underestimate. And we would soon have about 70% of our population having various forms of metabolic syndromes.
If you can't watch your diet or if it's too late, your doctor will prescribe statins to reduce the amount of unhealthy LDL cholesterol in your blood. Researchers now suggest that fast food outlets could also provide statin drugs to cut down the risk. Imagine mix statin with your burger. But doctors say regular healthy meals and exercise is the ultimate solution.
Statins help bring down the cholesterol, and if we can manage with lifestyle changes and dietary advice, that would be best. One of the problems with statins is that it tends to affect the liver, and the liver enzymes tend to go up. And if it's not recognized on time, it can go on to liver damage.
High cholesterol, unlike high sugar levels, seldom present any symptoms, which is why it's considered a silent killer. But the good news is that you can undo the damage if it's early enough. So get that lipid profile done at your neighborhood diagnostic center, work out and eat right. In Chennai, Nithila, NDTV Hindu.
But for men and women on the move, late night eateries often end up being the only places they can actually satisfy those pangs of hunger. So in the race against time and owing to a whole lot of restrictions on the timings of good quality eateries, many young working professionals are forced to eat at that local fast food joint, what many call the Kayandi Bhavan, jeopardizing their health in the process. Bertilla brings you the story.
Hot flaky parathas, sizzling dosas and flaming chicken 65 draws you in with its tempting aromas. Chennai street food has been a crowd puller not just for Chennaiites but also for tourists. Though mushrooming of roadside eateries during the past decade has posed many problems, people still tend to take and enjoy food at these roadside joints. Open drains, grubby hands and slapdash hygiene practices is a common sight at such eat-outs. Health experts say that about 2 to 5 patients come with health-related diseases in a day, and most of which are due to eating in such roadside eateries.
Very common problem we come across today is gastroesophageal reflux disease, which is more common after taking this fried food or a spicy food or oily food or in fact sometimes spicy food. And more commonly the one important problem is taking unhygienic food, because most of us think that the food taken is a hot food, there is no hygienic problem. But the food served may not be in a hygienic manner, I may not take the food in a hygienic manner.
On the other hand, consumer activists also add that the lack of proper monitoring system for such street food joints have only led to the increase in the number of eateries. They also insist that enforcement is a must to check the quality of food supplied in these places. Roadside eateries have become an evil necessity for the present-day society, but one should exercise caution while eating at such roadside joints.
If numbers are anything to go by, these Kayandi Bhavans are very popular in the city. But we should remember the fact that we are buying food here only at the cost of our health. With camera person Dave Raj and Moses Robinson, Bertilla, NDTV Hindu.
Alright, I can tell you that Bertilla definitely doesn't eat any junk food that was only purely for the camera. Well, we'll slide into a short break now because, in fact, Dr. J.S. Rajkumar, we believe, has just come out of an operation theatre, has been on the way, is in fact rushing through this office traffic in Chennai, and you know how bad that can be, because we ourselves have done a show on Voice of Chennai on the impossible traffic scenario in our city. We'll slide into a short break. Hopefully, we'll get Dr. Rajkumar. He'll probably reach our studio by then. Stay tuned because we'll take all of you callers in a very short while from now. Stay tuned.